Now, I'm not sure whether we're actually live or whether we're not, because my little corner here says live in 36 seconds, but I can't believe that's true. So, Philippa, I think I'm going to start. Good to you. What a
Good
start.
morning.
Never mind. So, I'm Sally Inkster, and obviously, this is Philippa Taylor. And we have had conversations over about a year, haven't we, over various things. And then we suddenly came to the conclusion that we ought to start a conversation about what both you and I are, which is ladies of a certain age, and how difficult or easy it is for other people out there, the same ages that we are, female, and suddenly they're either scared of being visible or they're worried about not being visible. And I try to find a connection between what you do and what I do and how we could come put it together. So I'm going to give you what I came up with and see if you agree, just to start off with. So from your
Fabulous.
from your point of view, your clients obviously sometimes use their mind to choose their food. So they'll go, oh my goodness, I want that hamburger because I'm so hungry and I'm really going to enjoy that. And so they eat through their mind. But you can tell them, actually, if you eat because your body wants it, then when your body is happy with what it's getting, your mind will end up being happy too. And in brand, and personal brand in particular, when people are running businesses, they often go, oh my goodness, I need to have a logo, I need to have the colors, I need to get all this sorted. And they're running with their mind. But if they did the first thing, which is to sort out their brand, which is who they are, what they stand for, and how they help, then all that branding gets sorted out for them. So do you think that's a good analogy to put together?
Yeah, absolutely. Because for the people that I work with, it tends to be they say, I've lost myself. I don't know who I am. I don't feel like myself. I don't look like myself. I don't know what my purpose is. And we have these conversations which are just like having a conversation with somebody over a cup of coffee. And I say, look, I am able to help you feel fab, look fab, because then you're going to have more bandwidth to actually show up as who you are, the authentic you. Because if you're worrying that you're tired or you're worrying that you can't sleep or you're worrying that you've got aches and pains, you go, oof, when you sit down and your skin looks like your mother's and all those things that are sometimes very, very real and sometimes excuses. You're adding to an excuse that I'm not going to do that because I don't look like I did or feel like I did when I was 25, which is ridiculous. But we all have that conversation, myself included. But when we get to that point where we go, do you know what? I feel amazing. And then they need somebody like you to go, okay, who am I? What do I mean? What is my purpose? How do I show up? And how do I stand out? And I think that's where we come together, because
Absolutely.
without one or the other.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's helping people of our certain age understand that where you've been and what you have done is so important, but it's how do you show that on social media or being visible anywhere when you've got all these fears. As you say, I don't look like these 20-year-olds, I don't look like these 30-year-olds. We were just having a discussion about how we use keyboards. And so there is so much that we feel, oh, I'm not sure I can do that. But actually, we are so powerful when we get to our age because we have got so much wisdom. The trouble is, we don't know how to show it, either physically or verbally tell people what our power and wisdom is to help them. And so that was why I think you and I said, we really can help people who are just going, I don't know how to do this. And I am just petrified of being on live or having my photo taken. How do I do it? So I think the showing up is understanding that where you are now is good. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's absolutely good. and working on yourself and understanding yourself, even though you think you do inside, you don't have the words to explain it, and that's what you need.
Yeah.
Those words to say, look, these are all the skills and talents and strengths and wisdom that I have. Can it help you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that when you do get to a certain vintage, and that can be 40 something, 50 something, or like me, 60 something,
Mm,
and it's like, I have all this wisdom, I have all this life experience. How do I distill it? How do I transform it into something that is authentic to me and my life, that is going to serve other people? And that's the connection. It is going, oh, I'm only I've only done. It's actually, no, we've all done an amazing amount with our lives. Whatever
yeah,
sort of path you've trodden, there is so much to give. And it is that distilling it down into, okay, this is my essence. This is who I am. And this is how I'm going to help you do better in what you do. So that showing up in midlife really means just being you, and stop self-sabotaging and the procrastination, hands up on both of those. And it is being you. And it does take a few steps. There's not, you don't suddenly go from being not sure to all guns blazing in 5 minutes. You take steps, and the size of those steps and the amount of steps you take are speeded up when they work with someone like you. And my part in that puzzle is to say, feel better, show up.
yeah.
That's the connection. But it's having that self-awareness to show up authentically that I think is the important bit.
And I think quite often the trigger is we at some age go, I've been working in a corporate career, I've been doing this, and you suddenly come out of it and go, I am going to be, and that's great because you're all excited. And then all of a sudden you realize that your age, how you're feeling, your joints, the photos that you take, the wrinkles that you have, all those, and your confidence starts to go down. So I work with a lot of women who have been so excited to start a business. I am going to do this, something I've wanted to do forever, and I'm going to start a business. And then after a few months, they go, oh my God, there is so much I don't know. There is so much I have to learn. And all those fears come into play. And that can definitely stop you or slow you down or get in your way. And that's what I try to help people understand, that that's normal. Those things will pop up, those fears will come out, and there is a lot to learn. But learning about yourself and how you describe yourself and describe what you're doing, then you can put that into your business. And all of a sudden people are going, oh, she went through what I went through, or she did this, or that's what she does. That's amazing, because I think she can help me. And the two of us sitting here, both being just a tad over the first 60, it is so important for us to show that we can nail this, even
Yeah.
though the technology sometimes will get the better of us. And Anne is saying to us, a certain age, yes, we're all there, Anne.
We're all there. And I think you're right. We didn't learn to run a family. We didn't learn to do whatever we did in our previous sort of careers. And I say careers because it's very rare that somebody has one career. I think I'm on my
Mhm.
fourth now, but let's move on that one.
Yeah,
It takes the time, but knowing where you want to be because you found your purpose means that you are quite willing to learn. And it is that point where you say, I can do this because I've done that. And when you tell a story, I talk about different paths in my life, from being a PR consultant to traveling to doing all sorts of things, and empty nesting, or bird launching, as I prefer to call it. Because when somebody goes, yeah, do you know what? She's 63 and she's doing it,
mhm,
then that's good. It is an example, because the bit about the invisibility is that there are more role models out there. And while I'm not purporting to be a role model, it is seeing other women in midlife going, there is more in life, and I'm going to grasp it with both hands and go with it. And you're going to help me feel great, Philippa, and Sally, you're going to help me, put who I am out in words and know who I am. And it's just so empowering, that transformation in your second thing. We all need a hand. I need to learn things. You need to learn. We all need to know that where there's there's help, and B, we're not alone.
Yeah. And that it is so possible. But for me, I've got 3 daughters, and I like to think that they can see that their mother at the age of 61 is not just sitting back and doing nothing. She's still experiencing, she's still growing, she's still doing. I mean, they may roll their eyes occasionally, don't get me wrong, but somewhere in there, we are a model, even if it's only to our own children and, you know, their friends around them, that we are showing. And I think one of the important things to understand is how to tell those stories. You were saying that we have got so many stories, but how do we tell them? And I know Anne is listening. She will, you know, is really on top of how you tell your stories, because we don't want to just blurt everything out, because my goodness, we'd be here for another 60 years if we tried to tell all the stories. That's silly. But there has to be a way that all the stories and everything we have been through is now used to help us grow, but to help other people understand how to grow as well. And the feeling fab about it is the confidence you get when you understand who you are, how you're unique, and why nobody else can do what you do in the way you do it. Oh my goodness, is that fantastic for your confidence, you know? And it shines out, doesn't it? I mean, you know, we're both smiling.
Yeah. And and once you that feeling of overwhelm, I can't do it, and the procrastination and the imposter syndrome, it is getting to the root cause of what's stopping you. And the root cause is that you don't know who you are, and you're putting the layers of comfort around it, and just going, you know, I am who I am. This is me, and this is how I can help other people. However you've chosen to start your business, and whatever you do in your business, you know, whether it's direct to other women, if it's direct to businesses that help other women, you know, wherever you are, you can make a positive difference. And that's the crucial thing. It's being of service. I know that's quite an old-fashioned idea, but it really is. Let's use all that wisdom and experience and blaze a path.
Do you know what? I think, though, sometimes it's been so covered up because other people throughout our lives have told us who we are and what we do and what we should be doing. And all of a sudden we get to this age and you think, yeah, I was very good at doing that, but that wasn't what I am. I did that because I had to do that. You know, we bring up children, and don't get me wrong, I loved bringing up my children, and it is one of the most important jobs we'll ever do, ever. But that's not the whole of us. You know, I mean, the PT of this and the chair of that. Oh, it was, you know, that was bringing up children. And I learned lots of skills during that time. But now I want to be me, you know, not the mother, not the wife, not the secretary, or not the nurse that I was. Not that I want to be me, but I want to bring all those things I did, all those skills I learned, all those talents that I've grown into strengths, and I want to be able to use them now. And that is the message. And I think going forward, we want to be able to give people actual tips. Today, we're just talking around the subject, are we not? But actual tips on how to do that. I mean, how do you discover your talents? You know, if I said to you, what are your strengths and talents? People go, oh, I'm quite good at gardening. You know, it's sort of people have to be able to dig down to find out what they are, because we forget.
We forget. I'm a great believer, and I don't know whether this is because I've been a PR consultant for decades, but I write it down. You know, blank piece of paper, pen and pencil. I write Philippa in the middle, and then I go, how do people describe me? What do I like doing? There's lots and lots of things I can do. There's quite a few things I don't ever want to do again. And that's the point. If you write down only the things that you like, and then you can write down, yeah, that's okay. I really do like that. Or no, that's so. And you can start to distill who you are. And
Yeah.
then you think about, how does this relate to the business idea I've got? And then meshing those two together means that you go, right, then you go, but oh, do you know what? I can't, I just don't feel like it. I just don't want to, I haven't got the energy to do it. That you can do something about. And then you can work with those words and start shaping it, and then take it to a professional like you and say, right, this is my idea for a business. This is what I've done. This is the words I've come up. This is the ideas I've come up with. I'm sorting out how I feel. Let's put that into something concrete.
Concrete. Mm-hmm.
And it's never, I said concrete, but things never carved in stone. I change how I describe myself over time, because how I think about my business changes. As I get better at sharing information, I think of it in a different way. And I talk to someone who sparks an idea, and I think, oh no, that actually works much better. And that's the beauty of it. We're old enough and wise enough to go, oh yeah, that's better, let's change there. But there's less ego, I think. And Anne's right, is our childhood shaped us, our experience shape us, and now we get to shape the last part, the second spring chapter.
But I also think our childhood is one of the places I take people with talents, is because people say, well, I'm very good at doing filing. And I go, okay, that's great. Is that a talent or a strength? And they go, well, I don't know. And I say, okay, when you were 4, did you put all your teddies in different groups, and they were all named and they all had an age, and you spent time doing that? And was your bedroom immaculate in every? Oh, no. I said, do you think filing was something you learned? Oh, yes, definitely. And so there's a difference there. So you can have silly things like, I'm good at filing, but actually that was based on something as your childhood. You were extremely good at organizing as a child, and that has carried you through it's finding those themes that started in childhood, you used in your nursing career or your PR career or your teaching career or whatever you did. And so you did lots of different things, but the thread through all of those was that you were very good at organizing.
Yes.
Or very good at being empathetic, or whatever it is. But that's how you start to find your talent. And to me, that is the most exciting thing, because once you know those, you can use them the best you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not career counselling. It is shaping who you are in your head out into the real world, so you can be visible, and you don't have to worry about being too visible. What you share is what you decide to share.
Yeah.
But also, you're not going to be invisible, because you are giving yourself the gift of being visible to help other people. So brilliant. I
Amazing.
love the idea that we can both help people to show up and to stand out. So thank
Yes.
you for the opportunity, Sally.
That's all right. It's been great fun. And as you say, we've just really opened the Pandora's box, have we not? There is more to come out on how to help people when they want to be visible, and they're probably not still in their 20s. But it was an absolute pleasure to talk to you, even at 9:30 in the morning, which is a tad. Anyway, but I will see you again soon. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And if you're listening on replay, that's great too. And we'll talk again soon, Philippa. Take
Lovely.
care.
Thanks, Sally.
Bye.
Bye.